grew up in Norcross and Lawrenceville. I went to Central Gwinnett High School, which is close by here. Now, Gwinnett County is my home, it's where I've grown up. And this county is what the rest of the country is going to look like in 20 years. And it's important to me that we have reflective leadership that understands the issues that our community faces. Now, my campaign is about bringing healthcare, economic equity, and fighting against the archaic immigration laws that are plaguing our communities. And I think it's very important that we speak out and be present. I've been on the front lines of progressive politics for nearly a decade. I fought to help elect progressive candidates up and down the ballot. I worked on Atlanta City Council race for Andre Dickens. I worked for Jason Carter when he ran for governor. Secretary Hillary Clinton when she ran for president. And most recently, I was the Southern States Director at the Democratic National Committee for the National Party. And I'm running now because folks are hungry for reflective, authentic leadership. And it's important to me that we have progressive, bold voices at the table to make sure that we have leaders who will speak for us and stand for us. And so I really love the fact that you guys invited me, and I appreciate the culture and the beautiful outfits that I've seen, and I look forward to speaking with you more. If you'd like to learn more about my campaign, you can go to www.nabilaforcongress.com. It's NABILAH, and thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
I have my paper here all marked. I think somebody took it away. That's not good because I had everything marked about 7 changes were done here. So give me a moment. Ask them to be ask them to, if you're not a guest speaker, please be mindful because we can't be here for the longest time. Just be brief, give the occasion to speak so that we can move the occasion as fast as possible because the last thing I want to do here is just say, my man, give me the mic. Or for her to be standing or be knocking. It's so unprofessional. So we want you to be very professional with us as we will do our best to make sure we keep this thing very nice and simple. All right, so I will give the mic to my co-hostess.
Good afternoon. My name is Mrs. Masa B. Sila, and I want to welcome every one of you guys to this unique occasion in Atlanta, Georgia. And we pray that the Almighty Allah continue to guide and protect us for this unique occasion in a successful term. Thank you.
By Imam Adam Fofana, will do an opening invocation for us.
Let us pray. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. وقال ربكم ادعوني أستجب لكم إن الذين يستكبرون عن عبادتي سيدخلون جهنم إن الذين يستكبرون عن عبادتي سيدخلون جهنم داخرين صدق الله العظيم. And your Lord prescribed that you shall invoke Him in the beginning of your affairs to receive His blessing. O Allah, the Lord of heaven and earth, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim, Ya Al-Malik, Ya Al-Quddus, Ya Salam, Ya Al-Mu'min, Ya Al-Muhaymin, Ya Al-Aziz, Ya Al-Jabbar, Ya Al-Mutakabbir, Ya Al-Khaliq, Ya Al-Bari, Ya Al-Musawwir, Ya Man lahu al-asma'u al-husna. ندعوك بأسمائك الحسنى, Allah, the merciful God, the beneficent, We ask you with all your beautiful name that you bless this gathering of us. That you bless each and every one of us, people who have spent their money to be here with us. We have no other goal than come to support each other and uplift each other and help our people. Oh Allah, people who are suffering, please put an end to their suffering. People who are sick, Allah, we ask you to cure them. And the objective that we gather here today, Allah, that you make our gathering successful so we attain our objective, Ya Allah. Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim, Ya Al-Malik, Ya Al-Quddus, Ya Salam, Ya Al-Mu'min, Ya Al-Muhaymin, Ya Al-Aziz, Ya Al-Jabbar, Ya Al-Mutakabbir, Ya Al-Khaliq, Ya Al-Bari, Ya Al-Musawwir. People who have attended this conference, Allah, from our minister to our ambassador to our Consulate General who have traveled all the way to be here with us to show their support. We ask you, Allah, to bless each and every one of them and every individual who are here, to bless their families, to bless their wealth, to bless their health, so that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will live as your obedient servant who have not lived in this life but left an impact on the life, positive impact on the life of others. In your name we pray. Amen.
I will please ask the audience to please stand up to recite the national anthem of our beloved country, Liberia. Please. I know it has been a long time from pre-K to middle school and high school. Most of us can't remember it, but we got it. One, two, three. All hail Liberia, hail, all hail, all hail Liberia, hail, all hail. This glorious land of liberty shall long be ours. Though you honey bring the offering and mighty be our power. Though you honey bring the offering and mighty be our power. And mighty be our power, and mighty be our power. 1, 2, 3, 4. Enjoy and gladness when our hearts united we shout the freedom. Our hearts united, long live Liberia, happy land. It's home of glorious liberty, but God's command. It's home of glorious liberty, but God's command. Thank you, that was awesome.
So let me check this thing out, you know. All right, so let's have a little quiet. So we now ask the president of the federation to call the official program into action. Mr. President, can you grant the official opening of the program?
Coming. Again, this is very beautiful to see every one of you here today. We have come here to discuss issues and to lay a roadmap as to how we socialize, but also how, as we socialize, we also think about how we impact the lives of our brothers and sisters here and back home. So as we go through our discussions today, let's keep in our mind that a key aspect that has brought us here together is for us to be one. That being said, I want to officially declare this convention open. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. President. Welcome the chapter president of Atlanta, Georgia, Mr. Lai Ture. Greet and welcome our president chapter, Mr. Lai Ture. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum and welcome to everyone. Honorable Councilor Cynthia Bamford, information Honorable Jura Sano, Honorable guest speaker. It's kind of difficult for me to call anybody. I know I gotta go through because in the official say Keta. Mr. Keta. Thank you. Honorable President, Honorable Amara Pone, thank you for being with us. Guest Peter P, thank you. Co-chairman, I'm passing my position to you right now, Peter. Thank you. Co-chairman. Former President Bengali Traore and Honorable Sekou Kene, all the former officials and members of the executives of FELMAUSA, honorable delegate, super delegate and delegate, these are the people important in this program here that will make a decision tomorrow for this noble organization. Say to you about thank you for coming. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the very, very glad that you guys here today to participate in this historical 12th annual conventions of FELMAUSA, Federations of Liberian Mandingo in the United States. Just to say, and we are happy, we hope you enjoy your stay in the state of Georgia. Thank you, God bless, and God bless.
I am very saddened to see you clap that low for Lecture. I mean, come on. This man has been working very hard from the day you got here. And when he was coming on the stage, you applaud very little. He gave you a big speech and welcome you, he gave you a very little. So who are you going to clap for? So can we do it one more time? Like, please stand up, man. Thank you. All right, I give this tax to the Secretary General. He threw it back to me. So, the MC already did it, so I don't need to do it. I'm going to talk on something different. MC will always keep pointing to people and recognizing them, but officially, he should have. But anyway, so I'm going to take over. So I would like to recognize the President of the Federation, Mr. Bangalis Mohamed Cisse. Mohamed, I'm so sorry, see, I'm speaking so fast. President Mohamed Bangalis Cisse. Please stand up. And the Vice President for Administration, Mariki Kenya, who actually gone to Mecca this year. The Vice President for Operation is Brother Musa Traore, he's not here. And the Secretary General is Ajabate, is he in the house? Oh, he's not here, he was here yesterday. Now we go to the board executive team. I have to look at that and call it in because I know Mohammed Ansadola is the chairman of the board of directors and the co-chairman, Mr. Ibrahim Kruma, is here. Oh, what's going on? The chairman board of directors is not here? But where is he? All right, Ibrahim Kruma, co-chair. Can you please stand up?
He's outside.
He's outside too. My goodness. And then we have the board secretary general, OPS Bamba, is he here? Oh my goodness. All right, so we skip them. And then we have the sports, all member of the sports committee chair, sports committee, are you here?
Secret meeting.
Please stand up, okay. And then we have the election committee, members of the election committee.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, please clap for people when you understand that it's all about recognition. The only thing we can do in this community for ourselves is to recognize people. We don't get paid, so when we are in this kind of events, we like to recognize you so that when you stand up, people can clap for you. That's all we can do because it's community service. That's the least we can do. So when we call somebody's name, be proud, stand up, let people clap for you. Don't be shy. And then we have some distinguished guests among ourselves. We will first look at our guest speaker, Brother Mohammed Keita, who's the guest speaker. Brother Keita served as a guest speaker in Dallas, and you know how powerful he is, so we don't know what he's bringing down today. Yeah, help me speaking. And we have our Honorable Imam and Imam Adama Fofana. We have the Liberian Honorary Council, Ms. Cynthia Blafo, is here. We have Liberia former Finance Minister, Mr. Amara Kone. And we also have FELMAUSA former former President Sekou Kene is in the back there. If you hear a voice of the people, right? Yeah. Voice of the people media, that's the man right there. He came into media in like a few times, he took over. Marvelous. All right, we also have some distinguished guests from our brothers from And we have our father, Lasana Duble. Come and grace the occasion. Mr. Ayuba Jazino Kamara is here present. If you're a delegate, please stand up. All delegates.
Come, unknown university representative on the stage, please.
We have our own paper script. It's all confusing. I'm sorry for that. I put you on the spot. Yeah, I'm very sorry. So we have, right now we're gonna go into remarks. So, you know, there's a lot of people here who want to speak. So as we give you the chance to come up and say one or few things, again, I'm gonna really stress that you make it very brief. Everybody is important. We respect you. We want you to tell us something. But we'll have other people that come up here and speak. So we will recognize former President Bangali Trawale to come and give us a few remarks.
Go to class, to go to school. I didn't know you got a degree in.
I don't have a degree, but
Yeah, you know, like we all been to functions and so for this thing, you know, to make a remarks. Sometimes increment upon what you see and what you think it should go right, and telling other people and so forth. So to speak before the guest speaker, maybe speak on something that he will talk on, it kind of dilute his message. You don't never tell what he has.
So you gotta speak.
Just I think it's an honor to call me here to make a remark, and I'm so happy. I have a lot to share with you people, but I will defer whatsoever in that maybe on the side. So I want to say thank you very much. I'm happy to serve this community and always be here to share my little idea with you people. Thank you.
Civil Kenneth, to make a remark.
Good afternoon. I want to say thank you very much to the MC for giving me the opportunity to speak. I'm very much delighted to be here. Like my former president said, we don't want to say a lot before the keynote speaker, so I'm going to be very brief. We are here for a reason. And for me personally, I came here for one reason and one only, is to make sure that before we leave this particular convention, we should leave our community united. Open heart, open peace is on the table regardless of what you think of yourself or your opinion. So I want to say thank you for giving me the opportunity. We look forward to a peaceful convention. Thank you very much.
We'd like to call on our father, Lasana Duble, to please make a remark.
And welcome to everyone. My greeting is to you and to everyone who has come. Please join us peacefully and let's leave peacefully. Thank you.
And we'll call on Jazino Kamara. I know you made a remark yesterday, but you know we want to really tell you that we really appreciate you traveling from England all the way here to grace the occasion. And he is the coordinator for the Liberian Association in Europe, out of Europe. You know, so he's the coordinator. So,
thank you. Wow. Good afternoon. Well, let me use this time to extend a special greeting from President Abu Sako, the President of Limafi, the Federation of Liberian Maningo in Europe. A special greeting from the President to Honorable Madi Sise for extending an invitation to us. And Maningo in Europe, what we want to say to you guys here, we are following your steps. Whatsoever you do here, it will definitely, people will use that as an example. So remember, we stay together. Like Amara Kone said to us, let's stay under the tent or make the best outside the tent. Assalamu alaikum.
We'll call on former board chair from O'Connor to make a remark. O'Connor to come and give us a remark.
Madam Co-MC, all protocols observed. I'm just happy to be here. I see that the energy in the room is very high. My message is that we continue to stay together. There are heavy burdens on all of us these days, particularly when you consider what's going on back home. So by coming together as a community, we can do a lot of good to help our community back home. And I look forward to listening to the guest speaker. I look forward to hearing from the representative of the Honoree University, something I think we should embrace at this convention and support it. We need an Islamic university in Liberia for good. Thank you.
The Liberian organization,
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Bior Bropla. I serve on the board of directors of the Liberian Association with your very own Lai Toure. We have worked a lot together to bring about unity and prosperity in our community. It's about, correct me if I'm wrong, Honorable Consul General, about 25,000, give or take, Liberians that live in the greater Atlanta area. So it's a huge community, and the challenges of keeping us on the same page is quite high, but thankfully with Lai's support and with our Honorable Consulate General, we've been doing a great job. We welcome you on behalf of all Liberians here. Thank you.
The president of ULA, that's the Union of the Liberian Association in America, Mr. Famba Fofana, he's not here, but he has a representative who will speak on his behalf, and he sends out the message, and we'll call on Brother Joseph Sago to deliver that message. Brother Joseph Sago.
I have for President Famba Fofana, and in my capacity as the Foreign Minister for EULA, we want to bring greetings to the leadership of FELMAUSA and to the organizing chapter, Honorable Lai Toure. Unfortunately, the executive president could not be here due to some personal reasons, but he wants to extend his heartfelt thanks to all the conferees who have converged this afternoon. And he wants me to let you know that the organization, the EULA, appreciate the partnership that exists between FELMAUSA and EULA. Really appreciate that. In terms of dual citizenship, in terms of advocacy activities that FELMAUSA and EULA do together. On behalf of EULA, we will be we'll be pledging $200 to FELMAUSA. So, Mr. President, the treasurer will write the check. So you'll let me know, what to be written on the check. We will mail it, or someone in the East Coast can pick it up from the treasurer. Again, thank you very much, and we look forward to a peaceful convention.
Again, I want to welcome Unknown University representative on the stage, please. Thank you.
Mr. Mamadi Sise, executive members, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. It gives me a great pleasure to be here today in this wonderful gathering. My name is Brother Brahma Sila. I'm the global coordinator for Honoree University in Liberia. I'm delighted to inform you of the creation of this modern Islamic university in Liberia, which would consist of various disciplines such as information technology, economics, management, education, nursing, computer science, sociology, agriculture, and medicine. But right now, the concentration is on an associate degree program focused on information science. And it is our hope within 4 years now, we'll have a full department of all sections, all colleges that will be functioning in Liberia. Now, historically speaking, it is very important and vital to inform all of you, especially in this particular gathering, because I think this is the first opportunity to meet a lot of us here from different states, from the Mandingo community and also the Muslim community in Liberia, to inform you about the necessity of this particular institution. No doubt, a lot of you may know that even before the Civil War in Liberia, many of our parents had thought about having a university that would be controlled or governed by the Mandingos, or generally speaking by the Muslims in Liberia. Now, some processes took place. But unfortunately, the Civil War came and everything stopped. So some of those people that will be mentioned that really took part in this particular initiative were Dr. Kaba and the late Sheikh Kafumba Kone and others who may not be present alive today. So now, the idea here is when the Civil War ended, later on some brothers and sisters initiated or energized the whole dynamism again to start the whole process. But then Ebola came and the whole thing stopped again. So what happened is that recently, during these 3 years, we, along with other brothers and sisters in Liberia, at the University of Liberia, we decided to really take the initiative to establish this university, which would be very modern. The Muslim Council of Liberia appointed Brother Osman Kamara to be the chairman for the steering committee to run the university. So a lot of things have been done, alhamdulillah, through the collaboration with Muslim Congress of Liberia, the Muslim Congress Alumni Association in US. We collaborated with other organizations to send a container full of educational materials. Alhamdulillah, everything went there, and we established the infrastructure. Alhamdulillah, we have library now. We have the information lab. We have the science lab. What we are waiting for at this moment is to have a final accreditation so that by September, the university can be functional. Now, a lot of people may ask the question, why is it relevant? Why a no university matters? Now, some of the most important thing I hope to really convince all of you about is the unity of the Muslims in Liberia. It symbolizes the pride of the Muslim in providing genuine, marketable, productive, and transformational education, not only for Muslims, but for all Liberians. It represents a platform to bring awareness of the identity of Muslims in Liberia. So those are the philosophical foundation of why it is very vital to establish a university in Liberia. Now, you will want to know what are some of the accomplishments and challenges. In terms of accomplishment, we have succeeded to have a preliminary accreditation right now. Secondly, we have a library, we have a computer lab, science lab, and just recently, one of the political leaders, I think all of you may know him, Cummings, he donated a very huge generator to the university. And also, thank you. So that is one of the achievements that we had. And not too long, the Ministry of Health in Liberia used the premises of the university to host a health fair for 2 days. So a lot of things are taking place, and alhamdulillah, I would always like to appreciate the fact that we have a lot of brothers and sisters behind the background contributing to make the thing a success. Now, what we call the challenges that we're facing right now, which we need to explain to all of you, so all of you can come on board, because we need each other. Because this is not a one-man show. This is for the entire community, Muslim community in Liberia, that will empower the Muslims and to also help the Liberian economy. Because once established an institution, it's not only for Madigos or Muslims, it's also for the entire thing, which is a serious thing. We need help to renovate the university in terms of painting, ceiling repair, doors and windows repair. Second thing is set up an administrative office, whiteboard, plumbing issues, student desks and chairs. And also we need a few air conditions for the science lab, computer lab, and library. Now, coming to the conclusion of my speech, it is very important that if all the Liberian Muslims in the diaspora work together, we can make this institution a great university in Liberia, bringing positive change for the nation. So, in conclusion, gentlemen, this is your call. We are here from different parts of U.S. We will really appreciate if everybody can join us to donate whatever you want to donate in terms of ideas, in terms of resources. And I think this will bring a lot of economic achievement and educational empowerment in Liberia. With this, I would love to stop here, and may Allah help all of us. And thank you very much for giving us. So we hope everybody will have the opportunity to see what the university is about. So we also like to collect database of individual organizations so that we can get you guys contacted. Thank you.
I was sitting out here almost tearing because we never have anything like this in Liberia. I mean, Islamic University? You kidding me? So this is an opportunity for us Muslims. So, you know, this is something that we should die for. This is something that we've always wanted, and it's there. So I think, you know, I will ask the administration, every one of you should actually do a very good fundraising for this. Now I'll be the first person to do any fundraising you guys want. I want to participate because this is a great opportunity for our country, and it's a great opportunity for we the Muslims in Liberia. Our fathers, they fighting for this. I will give.
I want to speak because I visited the university the last time I was in Liberia. I spent a couple of hours there. The facility that they are using now was built by our parents, all of us here. Imagine from Maryland all the way to Cape Town, all of the institutions that were built by men and women who could barely write the first letters of their name. So here we are. Our chance to leave behind us when we depart this earth a great institution. I really mean this. So I hope that even though it was not officially on this on the agenda for this conference, that by the time we leave from here tomorrow or Monday morning, let us make it a resolution. Maybe it will be another business, it's everywhere, for us to really convene sometime between now and the next convention in a special convention to raise money for this endeavor. Let us establish the annual university fund. Let me repeat, the annual university fund. It's my first time seeing Mr. Brahma Sise, so we didn't talk about this before I came here. But I went there, there's a need for it. There's nothing wrong with a Jesuit school. Georgetown University is a Christian school. The Catholic University of America is a Christian school. AME University in Liberia is a Christian school. There's nothing wrong with an Islamic university. But it's not going to happen by itself. You talk about education empowerment, you talk about supporting the economy, that's the right thing to do. So let's get involved. Each of us quietly can fill a container and send it. It's not enough. It's good, but it's not enough. But the collective power of everybody in this room, a one-shot contribution, but a sustained sort of fund, an endowment, if you will, by FELMAUSA in America. That's how you fund university. That's how the universities here are funded. Please leave, just one more minute, then I will sit down. Harvard University is funded by endowment. About 75% of the students that go there free, but you don't know. You just need to get the academic credentials to get in. Once you get in, most of your tuition is paid off with grants and scholarships. I know it because I went there. Let's do the same thing. We could target a specific amount every year for this endowment to help poor children, not necessarily from our community, because the Christian schools in Liberia are giving scholarships to Muslims in Liberia. I went to Monrovia College. There were times they would put me out for tuition. Mrs. York would bring me back in so that I could get an opportunity to learn. It's our time to do the same across the board, not just targeting Muslims, who are less fortunate, but also our Christian brothers and sisters in Liberia who might be interested in going to this university. To kick off this fund, I want to commit myself to FELMAUSA or any committee that you put together. I will give my time to this effort. This is a worthy endeavor. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you. This is what we need. Do more and do the website so that we know Cynthia is there. Delta Airlines to Liberia. This is the woman who did our LJ Hotel with Mr. Robert Johnson. It was for Liberia to be like Israel to the African Americans. That was the vision. So that they can come to Liberia and have a nice place to stay called the RFJ Hotel. The next thing you know, there were demonstrations for work and this and that, and once it was turned over to Liberian management, it started leaking and all of that. This is true. We can do more. We can bring Delta back. So what I'm trying to say here is that Mr. President, what's his name? Lai, thank you for building a relationship with Cynthia. You saw for many other endeavors for Liberia. She's a good woman with us constructively. So I just wanted to lend my voice. I see this as perhaps a game changer in our country. I saw Sister Asta Kaba, I saw the other brothers and sisters volunteering. They're not making any money. They leave their homes, they go there all day. I could have done it, to be honest with you, and I could make an announcement here, but that's not enough. Let us, after this convention, perhaps convene a special meeting and organize this fundraiser. Maybe do it before the summer is over, or maybe do it before the winter is over, but we must do it before we come back to another convention next year.
And I love Madam Oprah Winfrey, and she's a woman of Pele, but I'm probably a bi woman from Nimbo County. So, really and truly, it's an honor to be here, and welcome to all of you for this Federation of Liberian Mandingo Association in the United States of America. And on behalf of the over 25,000 Liberians in the state of Georgia, I bring you greetings on behalf of the Liberian Consulate. To the National President, Mr. Mamadi Sise, and Minister of Administration for the Information, Tourism, and Cultural Affairs, Republic of Liberia, Honorable Amara Kamara, former Minister, my dear friend, Mr. Lai. Ladies and gentlemen, as the Honorary Consul General, I am your Honorary Consul General. I am your Honorary Consul General. And I want to wish you the very best in your deliberations on unity, peace, and tradition. I was with you last night, and I understand the challenges for people of color all over the world. We are not damned people. We are the future. We just don't know it. So even in America, we have our challenges, but today I want to bring you good and well wishes for your convention, and also encourage you to be involved in the work, as Honorable has talked about, that we are doing relentlessly on behalf of the people of Liberia. As a former Rotarian scholar, I lived in Liberia, in Nimba County, in Yakipa. I studied, taught actually in Area B School in Nimba County. I also attended the University of Liberia and studied under Dr. Amos Sawyer. And I have conducted almost 50 trade, education, faith, investment missions to Liberia in the last 11 years. So I want to encourage you to join me as we make these trips home. I also think it's important to note for the Mandingo people, we need you here. We need you to participate in some of the work that we're doing in the consulate office. So under the leadership of His Excellency George Manawia, the Pro-Poor Agenda for Prosperity and Development, Infrastructure, Tourism, Agriculture, Education, Healthcare, we know Liberia is rich in natural resources. It's also rich in human resources. And that's why it's important that we go home. And so for me, as the Honorable was talking about, yes, Liberia is the home for the African American, and Ghana got ahead of us. They're celebrating 400 years of return. Liberia is the door of return. And we're trying to maximize on that, Honorable and other members of the platform table, just in terms of how we can build and boost tourism. This is a critical point in America's history to work with African nations to develop a strategic partnership where it's mutually beneficial. The big giants are already there, the Chevrons, the Mobil Oils, the Firestones, but where are you? Your small to medium-sized businesses are needed. Many of these businesses are laying off. Firestone, we just got word that Coca-Cola bottling, after 70 years, Honorable, is laying off. People are needing jobs. We need you. Whether you have a small to medium-sized business, you want to create something, Liberia is your home. Let me help you build your business on the ground. Ladies and gentlemen, how can we move this conversation forward with the National Day of Unity in your agenda? Please let me offer a few remarks and then I'll take my seat. As we consider that Black America is now 46 million people in America, Black people like me, 46 million, with over 1.3 trillion in buying power, and we travel. I spoke to the president of the National Black Chamber of Commerce yesterday, and he said, Liberia has never even approached us. We're in Ghana, we're all over the place, but we're not in Liberia. That's going to change. There are 100,000 members of the National Black Chamber of Commerce. They should be partnering with you to strengthen your business, to go into partnership in business back home. The investment power of African Americans is more than the combined GDP of Saudi Arabia, UAE, and Kuwait. Recognizing that Africa is a continent of 1.2 billion people and counting, the opportunities for America and for you and I are endless. Yes, that must be thoughtful and fair, and we all must be able to participate and be leveraged in the work that we do. Furthermore, are you aware that through the Africa Free Continental Free Trade Area, just recently signed by the leadership of the African Union, it will bring together all 55 member states. Only 2 who have not signed. Nigeria just signed. It will be covering markets of more than 1.2 billion people on the continent, including a growing middle class, and a combined GDP of more than $3.4 trillion. All you have to do is start small and grow big. We cannot sit by the wayside and let the Chinese, the Lebanese, the Indians take it. They will. The conference honorables at the distinguished table just a few months ago in Ghana. And I had an Indian woman who was working for the Tony Luminu Foundation. She came up to me and she said, I promise you, if you people don't pay attention, the Indians are coming. She said, I'm not. They're going to take it all. She professed it. So if we're not there in the gap, they will be there. But not under my watch. Not under my watch. So for me right now, the Mandingo Association throughout the Americas, we encourage you, please call my office. You're always welcome. We have internships for young people. We have partnerships with Savannah State University, the Carter Center, Clark Atlanta University, Georgia State University, Georgia Tech. We need young people. Let them come and intern in my office. We would need to build the infrastructure for who's going to replace me? I'm not going to be doing this work forever. We need young people to become diplomats in the foreign service. The Mandingos, bright, educated, well-versed. Please come and be a part of what we're doing. Let me also mention that we've signed a Port Authority agreement. It's our 4th signing of the Georgia Port Agreement between the National Port Authority and Georgia. We are increasing trade between Georgia and Liberia, but the containers, honorables at the table, are coming back empty. Why is that? Because we are not able to reach the AGOA standards of packaging and processing. We need your help. Let's provide the leadership. Let's bring these containers back full of whatever you want to bring back from Liberia. Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport, we signed a sister airport agreement with LAA and Hartsfield-Jackson, the best and busiest airport on the planet, is now partnering with LAA. Why is that important? It's the brand. We want that affiliation to be the best in class. Liberia used to be known as the best in class in lobster and shrimp. We want to be the world's best in terms of shipping that on an airplane from Liberia to Whole Foods and to restaurants in Georgia. I've seen the lobster in Liberia. It's amazing. Why not work with GLS, Global Logistics Systems? We are working with them now to develop an air cargo village. We'll have an air cargo village in Liberia. Be the best in the region. Be on the lookout, but come and be a part of this. It's an exciting time to be a Liberian. And finally, I will say to you that the celebration of the Year of Africa is the decade of the Year of Africa, the door of return. 2021, 2022, we are working with major institutions, including the National Black NBAA, 14,000 strong. We were Providence Island in February this year. We gave them African names. They want to help build the capacity for traveling, tourism, business, and development on the continent. With your help, through peace and unity, respect and tradition, my office is open to you. On behalf of the Liberian Consulate in Georgia, you are most welcome, and please enjoy your stay.
Thank you, Cynthia. That was great.
I beg your indulgence. I want to speak a little longer, please.
Yeah, maybe 5 minutes because we'll get a guest speaker.
Please allow me to speak a little longer, please.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We'll give up.
Thank you.
Yeah, but we can't go over 10 minutes. So, thank you, please.
Mr. Mamadi B. Sise, President, FEMAUSA, officials and members of FEMAUSA, Brother Amara Musa Kone, former Minister of Finance, Development Planning, ROL, Big Brother Bangali Traore, and all former presidents of FEMAUSA. Everybody, your hello. I bring greetings and salutation from His Excellency Dr. George Manawia, President of the Republic of Liberia, and my overall boss, Honorable Len Yuji Nangbe, who made it possible for me to come here today. I did not come with a prepared text to read because I know what is the problem that is existing. Today may be 6 or 7 days in this great country. I have talked to people, I have met people, I have seen people, and I still talking to people. Our biggest problem is lack of disunity, lack of understanding, and above all, lack of love for each other. And when these things are lacking, we will go nowhere. I'm happy that Brother Amara Kone is here. He spent 12 years in the government of Liberia, Minister of State. Finally, not 12, 10 years, right? 10, okay. You're not far from 12. So he knows the problem we as a community face in that country we call Liberia. I'm just from there. I know what is happening there about us. So I thank you, my people. Those of us that have been opportune to fly to this great country called America, we expect you to think above us because you have all the facility, you have all the things to think rightly and think above us. I'm grieving because we are not united. If we are not united and speak in unison, the purpose and the reason this organization was formed for, it will never come to pass. I'm told that this year makes this organization 11 or 12 years. I'm told that every president that have taken over this noble organization has fought. No president has been elected 2 times. Am I correct?
Right.
No one has been elected 2 times, 1 time. And before the 1 time can end, the battle can be tough. This should not be the case. I'm not a voter. I don't live here. Brother, please stand. Please stand. Please stand up, Madam Kone. Madam Kone, one of you will win tomorrow. I don't know who will win,
but I'm 100% sure one person will win tomorrow. Am I correct? And anyone that will win tomorrow, you did not beat anybody. You only won because you're supposed to win. Nobody lost. If Cisse is re-elected, he will be the first to make a break. President and re-elected.
Oh, yeah.
If Morris Nkrumah is elected tomorrow, I got no cause to doubt your ability to lead. I have known you for some time. If Madam Kwana is elected tomorrow, she will make the biggest history, the first female. So all of you got part to play to make FELMAUSA vibrant and important. But this vibrancy will not come to pass if we don't love and respect each other. In as much I want the people to respect our leaders who will be in charge, the leaders must also respect their followers. If we elect you tomorrow, if we respect you, please reciprocate our respect. To God that created all of us that we serve in, this organization can do more than what she has done. Everybody runs to America for help. It's in America you are. So the help must come to us in Liberia. You form the organization, but you are not the one that's supposed to benefit. It is us who are in Liberia that's supposed to benefit. Have you taken your medical delegation to state of New Georgia, from Georgia to Atlanta, to New York? Have you taken them from New York to any other place? No. Where are you taking them from? From USA to LRB. That means you are working for us to benefit. And we will never benefit if you don't unite yourselves. Please, I know what we are facing in Liberia. I'm already there from there. You were in my office a few months ago. I have not met Madam Kwana before. So I beg you people, you'll come together. If we come together here, we will benefit in Liberia. Yes, when I say come together, I don't mean we all should be in one political party in Liberia. No. Join your party, I join my party. But joining party does not make you an enemy to me. Anything you can associate with our law, you can disassociate. But you can't be a Badingo man today and be a former Badingo man tomorrow. It can't happen. I've not seen that. A Badingo man is always a Badingo man until he dies. When he dies, a Badingo man is dead. I've not seen it. You can teach your name, the law requires that. But you can't teach a tribe. You can teach your republic, yes, but you can't teach a tribe. So tribe is very, very important. And we are discussing tribal organization in the truest sense. So I beg you, my people, brothers, if you are re-elected, bravo. Small brother, Mamoni Nkrumah, if you are elected tomorrow, I will be happy from Nima. My sister, if you are elected tomorrow, my grandmother was a corner woman. So my grandma will be in charge. So we are one. So I will be the happiest man. Then I will take a message back to Jegota, Lokita, other places. When I got my visa on the 17th of May this year, I plan to come and meet with this occasion. I told Brother Kone, I said, I got my visa for the first time after many, many years. He said, I will be happy if you can come to America. Today we have met here. So I beg you, my people, time is my worst enemy. I got more to say, but if you talk more, you make more mistakes. So please, let's come together. Allah more better.
Advice. I think everybody is speaking on peace today. Without further delay, our next speaker, I'm about to introduce Honoree to please let me your ear. This is the very first time when we're going to have a youth within our community that is going to speak in the voice of the youth. What the youth think of FELMAUSA. This is going to be the very first time. We have so many programs. We've never had a chance to bring our youth to speak to us. So today we're going to bring one of our daughters. She was born in New York. She's about 20 years old. She stayed at She's a junior at Georgia State University. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome on stage Fatim Kamara.
Mr. President, Mr. Chairman, the board, the entire executive leadership, our dynamic guest speaker, dignitaries, and distinguished guests. I would like to also welcome you to this year's 12th Annual FELMAUSA Convention. To begin, I want to thank each and every one of you for coming out today and supporting this year's convention. I know that many of you have traveled from far to be with us today, and I just want to let you know that it is greatly appreciated. Now many of you may not recognize my face, but perhaps you know my parents, Lasana and Asada Kamara. Mommy and Daddy, you guys can stand up. My parents are active members of FELMAUSA. I am the oldest of 4, and last month, my mother, my siblings, and I actually took a trip back to Guinea. Now, in the initial planning of this trip, I wasn't particularly interested in going. And it wasn't because I didn't want to, but I just felt like I had a lot going on with school and with work, and I just did not think that now was the right time to take a trip. However, my mother did convince me to make the time. Going back to Africa just made me realize how proud I should be to be a Madingo woman. So, I mean, when I went back there, just waking up to the calls of prayer and being surrounded by people that I share a common background with was tremendously heartwarming. But on the other hand, seeing people deprived of basic life necessities such as food, water, and a proper education was equally as heart-wrenching. After seeing both the good and the bad of our beautiful country, the images and the experiences were stuck in my head. I came back even more invigorated to make something of myself, not only for me, but for my family and for my country. One of the reasons behind this was because when we went there, I saw just how useful the skills and the knowledge that my mother acquired here in America were to her. While we were there, over a 2-day period, we saw over 30 patients with symptoms deriving from conditions such as high blood pressure, diabetes, and pain. Now you guys can clap for her. She did a great job. She did a really good job. Clap for her. She did a great job. I saw how she was able to use her opportunity to come to America, had now come full circle, and she was able to help those in the very country that she had left many years ago. I too, from that moment, decided I wanted to be able to do the same. We are a part of such a beautiful tribe that has such unique customs and traditions that we must cherish, protect, and value. And FELMAUSA actually gives us a way to do that. So since we are all unified here today, I ask 3 things of the current members of this prestigious federation. My first request is for you to extend your well wishes and prayers to all of the Liberian Madingo youth that are here with us today, as well as the ones that could not make it. My second request is for you to invite us, the youth, into the fold of this organization. We are the future, meaning the future of FELMAUSA literally lies in our hands. For the youth, sit down with your parents and have a conversation with them. Talk to them. Listen to them tell you about their stories. Learn more about your culture, because having that understanding will guide you on this journey of this life. My third and final request is for all of us as Liberian Madingos to invite others into our conversation. One of the main purposes behind the creation of FELMAUSA was to be able to have discussions for the betterment of the welfare of the Liberian ethnic society. And in order for us to do that, we have to talk to others about the importance behind our history, our people, our food, and our language. By actively investing our involvement into FELMAUSA, we can do this. But it takes the commitment, the dedication, and the participation of each and every one of you that are here today. And that is what I ask of you guys today. Thank you.
Long time ago during his presidency, and thank you, Mr. Bangali. I know the reason why you're crying, because we worked on this. It was our ideas to actually enforce this, but it was so difficult for us to be able to work in that town when the entire board were against us. But it's okay. But at least I'm happy today that this message has been delivered and everybody listened to it. This is one of the most powerful messages that was given to every one of us here. This tells us that this organization that we have, we're always fighting with each other. It's not belonging to us. Like the minister said it here. He said that we pay for it, we sponsor it, but it's for them in Liberia. It's the same thing. We do everything is here is for this youth. There's got to be a transitional period from us to them. When are we going to get that into our hands, start building that instead of fighting? That is the message that was given to you today. And so, Mr. President, I do have the copy of her speech, and I'll be presenting it to you so that you can look at what she said. Those 3 questions, whoever is elected, they'll look into it. It's very, very important. It's very important. This is how the youth thinks. That's what's in their head. Thank you. All right, and then we will move on to the next agenda on this. Before that, I would like to recognize certain people that were not here. I would like to recognize Brother Rado Jabate. Thank you. And I will also recognize the chairman of the board, former chairman of the board, to be very brief 5 minutes because we're going to get that means less than 5 minutes. We're going to get the speaker up there. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Amar. So, I always wanted to take this opportunity in my new capacity as the Deputy Director for Outreach at the New York City Census Office to really just galvanize the community about what's happening in 2020. If all of you have been following the news, which I'm sure all of you have done, you know that there's a movement from DC actually, to really discourage immigrants from participating in the census. And Trump and the entire DC entourage really want to strike fear in the hearts of immigrants so you don't participate. And if you don't participate, what happens is that you risk losing funding, and you also risk losing congressional district. So my boss in the city of New York actually invested a significant amount in the city census to make sure we get an accurate count. Census is not a city matter, it's a nation matter, it's a constitutional matter. Every 10 years, the nation conducts census, and that's how the federal government allocates $800 billion to different states, different community, on different issues like healthcare, public housing, and programs. So, and that $800 billion, a lot of the immigrant populated city risks losing that opportunity. So we in New York, one of the largest immigrant populated city, we've taken the bull by the horn. So the mayor went ahead and created a census unit that is unprecedented. It never happened before, because we really want to be able to prepare to face and change the narrative around the fear mongering that is coming from Washington, D.C. All of you know that there was an effort on Donald Trump's part to insert the citizenship question on the census. And census, everyone needs to be counted come 2020 April 1st. Whether you are documented or not, you need to be counted. Because if you live in a state, once that state is properly counted, the funding that is allocated for the people of that state will be given to that. But if you're not properly counted, and I gave this narrative yesterday, if you live in your house and you're 10 people there, but you're afraid because maybe the 5 people are not documented, and the census enumerator come to your house and you tell them there's only 5 people, guess what? If that house is supposed to get $100, they give that house $50. Guess what? So that 10 people now will be struggling on that $50 instead of $100. It's just common logic. All right? So I want all of you to take this message as an ambassador. This is very important. President Obama did an incredibly well job to really emphasize and amplify the interests of the immigrant community nationwide. This president is moving towards retarding all of that effort. So we won recently because the Supreme Court ruled on not adding the citizenship question to the census, which is a huge victory for all of us. But I've told people the damage has already been done. People are there, panic all over the nation now. As a matter of fact, as we speak today, there's a scheduled ICE raid. And I know some of you don't live in populated immigrant city like us from New York. I mean, we just hear every day, oh, they just pick up that person. Oh, they just pick up that person. So we know that for a fact. So, but the reality is we need to get counted. So come 2020, as you leave from here today, right? Please talk to your neighborhood. Talk to your family member, talk to your friends. When the ballot gets out in April, let them not panic. there's something called Title 13 in the Constitution of the United States of America that protect the confidentiality of census information. So it's illegal. So even if the citizenship gets on that ballot, Trump can use it. He can use it. It's a crime to use that. So if FELMAUSA is undocumented and he fill out that census form, and after everyone is counted, Trump can touch that document. No one in this country can touch that. It's called Title 13. So we need to understand that. So even though he's been talking a lot about getting this question on it, and it did not get on it, but people are still panicking. So I just wanted to make sure I take this opportunity. I know we are here for a bigger goal, but I wanted to make sure, because as residents of this country, we have a responsibility to this country as well. We have kids that are growing here. This young lady just spoke very eloquently, you know, young person who is thriving to make an impact. So when we come to these conventions, we need to also talk about our lives here in the United States. So I wanted to make sure you're all aware of that. Thank you very much.
Okay, we will now skip FELMAUSA board chair.
After that.
Yeah, that's what we'll skip. Yeah, and then move on to introduction of the keynote speaker, Ms. Mona.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Moimin Sharif, the daughter of Musa Sharif and Mayaba Sharif. I'm here to introduce our honorable keynote speaker, Mr. Muhammad Keda, who was born in Nimba County of Liberia from a family of 21 children, and he was number 18 in the line. He is currently married with children. He started his primary and secondary education in the city of Gompa, Nimba County. In 1982, he graduated from Booker T. Washington Institute with a certificate in bookkeeping at College in Swakoko, Bong County, after studying for 2 years there. He was then fortunate in receiving where he completed his courses. And then in 1995, he transferred with credit to New York County, Knott College in New York. He graduated from New York Real Estate Institute as a licensed real estate broker in 1983. And in 2003, he obtained his BSc in Business Administration with emphasis in Human Resources from Knott College in New York. In pursuit of his dreams as an academician, he continued his study at Knott College and received an MBA in 2006 from the School of Business, Computer Science, and Communication and Human Resources. Furtherance to long journey for academic excellence, he is currently on a candidate list for a PhD at the City University of New York. As a list of some of his works and experiences that he's accomplished throughout his life, he first started off as a junior in high school, and with much help and experience from his brother in the gas industry, he was appointed the first youngest general manager of Shell Gas Limited Liberia in Nimba County. And from the years of 1982 to 1985, he was appointed as field manager for Nyako Inc. for Liberia. In 1988 to 1995, he served as general manager for Speedy Group of companies in Liberia. And then in 2005, he became broker/owner of Transcontinental Realty Group Incorporated, CEO of Ketma LLC, both USA-based companies, and president Ketma LLC Development Corp. He is a member of the Realtors, current board chairman, Millennium Man of Liberia, the board chairman of the Liberia Community Association of New York, member of board of ULAA, speaker of LAMANY, senior board member of Unico New York chapter, and former president of the United Nimba Citizens Council. He is also a member of a volunteer group in New York City for homeless people. These are just a list of some of his few accomplishments, since he has made and will continue to make multiple more. And we just want to thank you and introduce you to come out here and enrich us with your words.
Remember, I was right to the airport, and I had my suitcase on my head, and it written on the suitcase, FELMAUSA.
And I saw a friend of mine, he rushed to me. He said, Keita, I need help. I said, what kind of help you need? He said, we are now united. Things are stepping apart. Then he looked again and said, well, what is in the suitcase? I said, FELMAUSA is outside now. Then he took a car, 99 miles per hour for him with me. So, you see, I have FELMAUSA in the bag, and somebody else rushing to me to help a member of FELMAUSA. That means FELMAUSA doing great. Mr. President, Mr. Chairman of the Board of Directors, our distinguished guests, Mr. Minister, former, and the Deputy Minister, Mr. Kumar, Mr. Ansumana Jabate, the former President of FELMAUSA, former Board of Directors, our elders, the youth. Well, this I should carry up, but the problem about it, my hand not going to remain like this. I'm going to put it down because we're going to shake the ground today. Our elders, our religious leaders, I'm so happy to be here. I told you once, I said, if you call upon me anytime, I will be here. But it seems though the topic today that I'm supposed to speak on, everybody feeling talking about it, so what should I say? I don't know what to say anymore. Except you're not getting the concept. Except you don't believe in yourself. That's the only way. Because what I'm coming to say here is just to entertain you, that's all. But the truth has been said, the brother said it, those have been here before. However, the theme today is moving forward together in unity. Can I put it down a little bit? You can hear me? Yes. You can hear me? Yeah. I think you can hear me, right? I'll hold it. Thank you so much. But man, I know you're gonna shake it around. I want him to come near so he can massage my body, but he's begging for me. You see, it's so sad that I did shed tear today. Before the coming of the settler, before 1822, when they landed in Shelburne Island, we were united. From Mali Empire, Wasalo, coming down all the way to the East Coast, it was a single route for the Mandingo. What a thing for him from me small. So the boy can see my face, you know? No, I can't hold it. It was unity that brought our people down. For those that didn't know the history, can you tell me the reason why Liberia was never colonized? Can anybody tell me the reason? If the British can go to Sierra Leone, and they can go to Ivory Coast, Mali, our surrounding area, the big country like Nigeria, what made you think they couldn't come to Liberia? Because your forefather fought. They fought to keep Liberia the way it is. People talk about independence in 1847. We were an independent country long before the coming of the settler. We fought to keep that country. I'm not talking about unity right now. Coming to FELMAUSA. 25 years Liberia declared independent. They couldn't stand. Because the other tribal group make sure that they have the people get out of there. But who made a peace accord? It was your father, your great-grandfather. Why you are disgracing us? Your great-grandfather sacrificed their time, their blood, and brought peace to Liberia. And those that we gave them seat declare us as outsiders. You think the war is over? This is the beginning. 20 years ago during my speech, I said, and I quote, at the University of Liberia, that 10 years from now, Mandingos will be counted among the master's degree. The BSc going to be like a certificate, and PhD. Counted today. How many of you got master here? Come to pass. That was 1847 coming down to 1848. 1964, when the other county was added to Liberia to declare as a county. When the people went to Nimba County where I was born, we were there. We fought for our right. That happened. Come 1977. Some of you were not born by that time. 1978, 1979. At that time when Totman passed away, he said, pack your load.
Yeah.
Pack your load and leave, because your father is dead. When Omen Sano's store was broken, 1985, when they stood in the mosque, 1985, when it was said, I shall use it as my club. Then you sit down and go on Facebook cursing each other. I'm not done with you yet. I'm not done with you. You know, they said everything. Like I said, I will tell you something today. Do not use the occasion because you went to the burial ground, somebody passed away today, I will go pray. Because you never prayed before. As soon as you walk out of there, you will never pray again. If you walk out of here today, I swear to God, and you don't remember the peace and unity our forefather built, then you are cursed. Then you are cursed. Now, welcome. In my personal definition, is a current of atmosphere used to reconcile or settle unfinished businesses or things that we fear most in our lives. What is reconciliation? It's a God-given franchise given to you as people you use to accept your fault and bury your pain to better your brother. With that, however, it starts with your willingness to speak the truth with your intent of seeking forgiveness. In FELMAUSA, we pretend. When I ask you to forgive me, deep down in my heart, I have something else, because I want you to tell me something so I can undermine you. What a fallacy. Liberia Madingo, where are we? But you know what? I don't want to put everything on FELMAUSA youth. Because I told Rich McConnell, don't get the boys and the mantle, handle it, because when time comes, they will carry your trouser upside down. And then you did it. But you know why? Because we are fought. We, the older people, we are fought. We fight each other. Who been to Philadelphia? How many mosques you have in Philadelphia? During Amadou Nkrumah Domba program, I see Imam sitting down on the podium. Good people. Assalamu alaikum. Then one said the best Arabic. And somebody called me and said, Assalamu alaikum. I said, Iniwula. Because if you say peace upon me, you don't speak to me, you call me a different way. I don't pray behind you. We fight each other. I told them, you call me here today to honor this great brother. Because Amadou fought for the unity of Mandingo people. You sit here, you haven't spoken for 10 years. How can you bring peace? For God's sake, let's stop pretending with each other here. I remember when we were told not to walk to Unico, when we were told not to walk in the house of unit of Nimba Kante, Mr. Asumanak Jabate, Mr. Kroma, they walked out our identity. People say, if you walk inside here, once the Madingo man will get it out. Mr. Kroma, Mr. Jabate, walking. They walk some of us through these things. We saw it. We got it done. When a man called me 2 days ago, we are going to Nimba Kante to build the Women Empowerment Center, which I believe our vice president, former vice president, that her daughter was speaking here right now. That's the strength she carried on that time. She was a vice president, Mrs. Kamara. Women Empowerment Center. When I look among the women, not a single Madingo name there. The guy called me and said, Mr. Keita, it's not time to drink. Went to FELMAUSA, great organization. I decided to take the names of Madingo that can take part in this, because the building we put here in Nimba Kante is a historical building. Where you about a spot, you put your father's name there. You put your family name there. He said, but I couldn't get it from FELMAUSA. I said, why? He said, they're cursing each other. What is the tradition and identity of the Madingo people? What happened to you? Can you help me? I can't get it from them because I don't trust them. To go in heaven. That's why he told me. I said, why is that? I never been to their first boating here. I just had to stay away. But this time I went there. My first boat is Masade Masa. If you see Masade Masa, it's me. Masade Masa. But you know, we have a lot of work to do. What FELMAUSA youth are doing today, we are the creator. What the FELMAUSA youth are doing today, our clergymen are responsible. What FELMAUSA youth are doing today, because we didn't teach our children the right thing. You are not wrong, we just forgive us. If we were united prior to you taking over FELMAUSA, I swear to God, you will respect everything. But we were divided. It's unity. And one person took and gave it to you on a divided line. So your issue of making sure that you curse each other on the phone, on the Facebook, we taught you. But today, that will finish. We ask you to forgive us. We wronged you. To our religious leaders. Because I don't know the verse in the Quran. It said, God, it said, forgive your fellow man. God forgive everybody. Stop preaching. If you must preach, practice it. If you must preach, do the right thing. The religion people in our community are divided to the extent that, because I know if my brother is an imam, he's against this person, of course I will take part. Philadelphia. Mr. Sherry had a mosque. Jamade can't pray there. Mr. Sherry can't pray the Jamade mosque. When Mamadi Kroma Kinto, we raised funds. They kick him out. Now the mosque tend to what? It tend to issue, what part of Liberia are you from? Are you from Bonn? Are you from Monserrate? Or are you from Lofa or Nimba Kante? Why? Because the people who hold in the Holy Book, they are not honoring the name of God. And God said, and I quote, if I'm wrong, I stand to be corrected. God said the worst person I will be afraid is a hypocrite. Yes. You can't preach and you don't practice it. Hypocrisy. You can't preach and you don't practice it. And again, Madigo Poku can be certified. Once this man, if they take Keita and make me the minister in the Liberian government, you look at that government and say, all right, the government like us because they appointed Keita. And you know who I call next? My brother. Next, my cousin. Kromaka, no. Next, from Nimba County. If I'm born, don't take him. Why? You keep on being certified because somebody put as a minister. Do you remember one thing? Anybody appointed in the government as a minister, he's not going to help you. Because why? He cannot go against his boss or her boss. So those that be appointed in government, don't rely on them. Fight your battle. It is your right. Don't rely on those people they appointed in government because they are accountable to the president. When I decided to run as a senator in Nimba County, the question had come, how will you settle the land business between the tribal group in Nimba? I said, let's correct this on the radio. 35 minutes. The land issue in Nimba County had nothing to do with tribe. There's no tribal issue in Nimba County. It has to do with the squatter right. I ended up being the past administration. If I say something here today, please forgive me. We were deceived by the past government. If I say something here, forgive me. We were deceived. When Eli said in our court, put me on the national radio, I will never sacrifice my administration to minority and leave the majority. You think Madingo minority? Think twice. But the unity in Nimba County is staying tight. We should do something better. Nimba is a great county. For those Madingo from Nimba, come to Unico, don't stay away. Don't stay away, come to Unico. For those who are from Lofa, go to Lofa organization. If you're from Bone, go there. This is so important. I'm begging you, don't stay away. But don't depend on government to help you. I so appreciate the brother who said yesterday, go tell Joe we are our president to solve our land case. You're making a big mistake. He's not going to solve it. If you don't fight for your right, it's not going to work. I commend those brothers that went to Abuja. They did well. Now we got something on the ground. If you think John Weir will solve our land case, it's a big lie. He can't help himself to fix it. You have to fix it. You have to fix it. Ask for your right, and it's your right, you go for it. Don't say your birthright. And another note. The woman, one Madingo man had an opportunity to get something. The rest of the people become a class issue. Either you're below their standard, I can't talk to you. Why? If we can stand and struggle, look for small money, $2, $3 to file our land case, our people are saying, I can't even help. It is you who can make it right. I told you the last time in Dallas, he said civil war in Liberia. The worst war is waiting for you. Because why? You go to Liberia, you can't enter Lofa. You go to Liberia, you can't enter Nimba County. You go to Liberia, you can't even get a place in Bonn. You got a worst war waiting for you. Keep on cursing each other on Facebook. Keep on cursing each other on Facebook. The Facebook you're looking at is like a lady who calls her children, calls her husband in front of the children. Use the F word. And when that child be arrested, she or he was a nice child. Come on, give me a break. You're never a nice child. Because you instill that discipline in that child. It's the same thing. When you go on Facebook, I have to draw my daughter name from Facebook. 17 years old, going to college. I withdrew her name from there. Because what she's seeing is so sad. So we can't even stand it. And I'll tell you one thing. You don't have to show your education by writing, for God's sake. You want to see a writer? Go to Basiki. You want to see writers? We have them. Facebook to prove that you're not a high school graduate, that you're better. That you can do better than a college student. Don't do that. Create something. Medical mission went to Liberia, Mr. Sako. Thank you so much. Night planet. And I'll tell you what, If you think Liberia is so good, if you think you're coming here to look for leadership in FELMAUSA to go to Liberia, you lie, because you're not going to get it. You're not getting it. Because there's nothing here to get. All you have to do, please. I just came from Burkina Faso, Mali, Guinea, and Sierra Leone. I went through those countries. I saw people working so hard. They do a lot of things. When I enter Liberia, like we're sleeping, to go in heaven. Go to Guinea. Go to Sierra Leone, they just finished with the war. They're making their own farm. Nimba. Liberia, we bringing salt, pepper. Can you imagine we take pepper from Guinea to come feed ourselves? We have the better soil. Do me one favor. Mr. Sako doing something. The time you take to write on Facebook, start agricultural process. It will help. Start cursing each other on Facebook. The more you curse each other on Facebook, you bringing us outside. Because when Eula is here, I talk before Eula, people respect us. When we go to, when we standing in front of people to talk to them for peace, then you cursing each other. Then who are we? Last note. I'm begging you. I wish Mr. Toure, President of Atlanta, is here.
Toure.
Masala de dongila no basiti lele. Sefu le kwan na talaka to sebe. Wama basile sefu ni kenaka wata wa. Ko bile bilo no beke masale. Bile bilo no beke masale. Bile bilo no beke jalale. Hey, atituma lutwa. Dimi vanye. Dinu mo deun. Ai jo mona kumuka eja fo moma. Mona FELMAUSA takade ama moma la bembebe. Mr. Bocheme. Moi telila. Ai nyaka chomo. Ai nyaka chomo ulo. Koko FELMAUSA kona ila be. Ai jo. Ebe FELMAUSA to me na wallahi ate keke Facebook. His follower and the call of Lapopedia, people who started like people in the Genesis. They put their hand down, put their hand up. They escorted some of our elders from the mosque. I was just in elementary, junior high school that time. And he said something. What down, what not do Anima country? Never more Salakabo, because Salakabe, but it's still happening. Wallahi, and I'm he said, and I quote, "You have pushed me out today, and one day somebody shall push you out from here." We have a lot of work to do in Niba country. Mr. President, Mr. Toure, thank you so much. When you call me to come, I prefer to come here. And this man here, if anybody else will be FELMAUSA president today, I want everybody to say that's who can make Toure president. I don't want to take all the time. I believe that today is a new dawn in Mandingo Kingdom. I beg you, whatever you do insult each other. Facebook, I don't know you're too good. When I send them a message, when I go, you can just go to everybody. But I believe they got some part of Facebook called privacy, right? When you send it to somebody, they can want to go to that person. Can you do that a little bit? He won't cause the board chairman, just send it to a private. Cuss you up! I beg you. Thank you so much. Please. When my daughter was standing here just now talking, I hope you'll follow up. Don't make a mistake we made to you. We mess up and give you the award. You fix it and give it to them. We spoil it, we give it to you. You fix it and give it to them. And by fixing it, invite people. On that note, I ask for your indulgence. I just said thank you so much for listening. This is the best time we can be together and meet with each other. FELMAUSA is a great organization. If you listen to the name, they're not only in Liberia. FELMAUSA name is everywhere. I went to Burkina Faso, I saw it there. He said, follow for Mr. Step. I went to Mali, the same thing. Ivory Coast, they're following our footsteps. You got good organization, hold it tight. You need a blessing from the elders. On that note, I thank you so much, and God bless you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
I met him in person, and if you are in Dallas and you saw him speaking, and if you really somebody who pay attention to speeches and not just go there to talk like that brother what I'm talking, he's drinking something. It's like, no, seriously. When you listen to his speech, it shook me because I love to go to speeches. You know, I love these things. And when he spoke, I mean, I was so happy because the power from his voice, it shakes the ground, and he did it. That's why he told me, he said, I'm about to shake you. And he did. So for him to come up here and just speak, and then you sit down over there, you're not doing nothing. What are you doing? Go in the kitchen and eat some food and sit down. And you're not clapping for him? Let's do that again one more time. Come on, give it up. Speaker, Brother Mohammed Keita, I want to thank you so much. You were great. You were great. That's how we do it. When you have great speakers in the house, once they deliver, you stand up and you applaud them. You don't sit down and start looking for food. One of our ministers just entered the house. Minister Mohammed, come on, please come forward. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. President, Mr. Board Chairman, Minister Juro Sano, Assistant Minister for Administration, Minister of Information, Culture and Tourism, former Minister Amara Kone, and World Bank Executive, Mr. Osman Toure, President of UNIMA and all other chapter states, Presidents here present, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I am going to speak to you based on my personal experience with FELMAUSA, as the brother rightly said, that I am a former VP for administration. FELMAUSA, during our days and even up to current, was a great organization and is still a great organization. It will remain a great organization. Many a times, what happened, I don't call it division, I call it simple misunderstanding, but it's mismanaged to the highest level. And I think it is about time for us to grow. When I ran as FELMAUSA VP, as I rightly said earlier, that I'm going to share my personal experience with you, my auntie, Mamiata Jabate, there was the current VP for administration. For the sake of tradition, for the sake of respect and understanding, I called her and consulted with her. Sister, I'm hearing in the echo that you're not running. Is it true? She said yes. I said, you sure? She said yes. So do you want me to participate? She said, oh, you want to be VP? I said, of course. At the time, New York had New York soccer team. But our family here and all other UNIMA members, we were fighting fictional name on a ballot paper. That was the politics. So fortunately for me, that succeeded. I didn't fight anyone. I just played the game right. And it worked. That's how you work together as brothers and sisters. Now, when I got on the ballot paper, of course I was encouraged by good brothers here. Brother Asmana Jabate, my cousin, gave me a lot of courage. And many other brothers here, including Brother Famo here. You know what I'm saying? And then I got on the ballot paper. I was one of those everybody made fun out of. And I was proud for people to make fun out of me. Why? Because I was so sure that I was going to win because I ran the best campaign. You can all attest to it. Even those that people say, I got a friend who is rude, I call them up. Please give me your support. Oh, but I'm not a delegate, but still, when I become the VP, I still need you to help me succeed. Remember that time there was nothing a team. Everybody ran on independent ballot, independent candidates. So you can imagine how difficult it was at that time to win. There were one doing everything. Unlike recently, people go as teams. So if the president wins, every other person wins. So that's when we became VPA. When I was asked to run, they said, oh, but I made a degree. I wasn't panicking about that because I already had my degree 3 years after. So when Chairman Dolly, who he was then the Election Commission Chairman, asked me to send my degree, I forwarded it to him. Boom, my name came out. Because I was so sure that I was going to win, I printed a t-shirt. That's when the laughter coming in. They said, but you're very serious about it too. Of course I'm not serious. I printed a t-shirt, about 10 or 15 t-shirts. But the one that I was going to wear had the inscription, thanks for electing me as your VPA for administration. So imagine I was in New York, I knew I was going to win. And I won. You can all bear me witness. Because I fought hard to do the right thing. So why is it these days we chose the internet? Previous speaker have said it all. Why should we use the internet as a battleground to wash our dirty clothes out there? Every Liberian tribe got issues in this country, I'm aware of that. But there are ways to handle it maturely. When there are elections, everybody knows election time is always tensional. Because of competition, nobody wants to be defeated. But one thing I can tell you, even if you don't win, the fact that you keep with the brave mind that I want to be, it shows that you love this organization. It shows that you love this community. So losing does not mean you lose anyway. Yes. But you lose, it doesn't mean you lose anyway. I can use Brother Mamadi as an example. He ran 3 times and you lose all. Eh? Finally he got it this time. Whether you speak Mandingo, as long as you are Mandingo, we encourage all of you to be a part of it. So it's not a question of speaking the language or not. So don't create reason for people to look at you differently. We are all one people. And the only way we can foster peace and participate in national development in Liberia is to be united, is to be together. You can't keep calling yourself the most marginalized group when in fact you are the one marginalizing yourselves. You know that, right? You are part of the problem as well. You can't continually blame government or other tribes or other institutions for what's happening to you. Step up the game. When I went to Liberia, believe me, like the brother said, that FELMAUSA leadership would make you to get a job. I was ULA representative. Whenever I say I'm the ULA representative, I say, what is ULA? You know, ULA is the only Liberian organization here. Let alone talk about FELMAUSA. But we put FELMAUSA together for a lot better reasons, some of which you have achieved. You did a scholarship program, you did a medical mission. Even though your efforts on the ground are very weak. Take for example, those refugee organizations that come to help people with immigration issues. FELMAUSA is capable enough to do that. But we now focus oriented, that's why it's not happening. I dare you, whoever that win today, I just few people will be running it. The rest will be laying by away for the next convention. Yes. Is that how you run an organization? The one where you're laughing at me, sometimes I make fun of myself, I say, when they say, what are you in a position? I say, I'm the vice president for all the Mango Boy in Morocco. Then they start laughing, right? And they used to laugh about it. And I was serious. Because FELMAUSA is a serious business. So, gentlemen, like the speaker said, a lot has been said. So if we're not careful, we just keep repeating ourselves here. But it's about time for us to grow. During elections, attack the issues. Don't go after your opponent family. Don't go after his personal life. You've got nothing to do with that. Nothing to do with that. Talk about your competence. Talk about your ability to lead better than him or her. Eh? Before I take my seat, one big reminder I want to give us all. Never feel big to say, please accept my apology. I wronged you. If we can do that here today, the problem can be solved right here. But if we continue to knock our chest, on we go. During Limanita, I was one of those that used to write a lot. But Keita, let me apologize to you publicly. Please forgive me for all that I did. But after I realized I was doing the wrong thing, Brother Vasiki asked me, I promise you, I said, I will never ever attack any of my Madigo brother on the Facebook again. I mean, that I don't know Facebook. Listen, right? And I never did up to present. And I'm proud to say that. Yeah? If I have issue with you, we can discuss it off record. But guess what? We forgo our real competitors and run competition with each other. And I'm going to set an example here. When there was rumor that the current former minister Amara was going to run to be senator in Monserrado, I heard about 2 or 3 Madigos coming up. When he need cut off the information, I didn't see that anymore. And I got frustrated. I said, what is this? So you were in there because he was running? Shame on you. Shame on us all. We need to improve on that, man. We need to stop this, man. You can't keep calling yourself the most marginalized group. Instead of you focusing on having more representation in the upper house and lower house, you're here fighting to achieve what? Let me tell you again one of my experience, which will be the final one. When I became FELMAUSA VP, my utmost concern was to ensure that administration informed the national government that we were on the ground and we wanted the best treatment for our people. And we did just that. You saw that. We contacted the embassy on several occasions. We met the president on several occasions, and several government officials, high-profile government officials were invited, where we make our issues clear to the NSO, so we can do the same thing. And let me tell you, everybody is not big pressing. Everybody don't have solution to issues. Let's learn to have leaders. We don't have. It's about time for us to have leaders. When that leader speak, everybody follow. That's how you build a community. But in our community, time for election. They may always say, I got plenty of people behind me. Sometimes you get confused. But everybody get plenty of people behind them. So who am I going to actually go to now? But if you group yourselves as community, just as we've done, and be focus oriented, it shouldn't be happening like that. So ladies and gentlemen, again, the best way to solve the issues here, because when we say we should explain, we will never leave from here. If you know you're wrong, whether it's the, I call it 6 chapter states, whether it's the board, whether it's the administration, whether it's the peace commission, whether it's who, come here and say, I'm sorry for the sake of my community. I'm sorry. Let's move forward. I thank you all.
Thank you so much. All right, without further delay, we're just going to dive into it because we have to be out here. Will be the chairman of the board, the president, and I know they are part of the whole process and they know very well to call it short. But I want to say thank you to the minister. I would like to also recognize one of our honorable imams just walking. We don't have one of the most important part of this. That require for this event, which is the presentation of the Sheikh Kafuma Humanitarian Award. This was established by former President Bangali Traore, and I'm happy that the organization took an initiative to keep it that way. And no other person is better to be the chairman for this other than his own son, Mr. Famo Kone.
Thank you very much, Amara. I think one of the person who's done a great job with this convention is our MC, so let's give it up for him. I like that. So you just don't push up 100 pounds, but you can also organize a crowd, which is really good. And I'm still looking forward to that boot camp anyway, because I got some people to catch up with. I'm not a politician, but the whole political spree about, Mr. President, Mr. Vice President, I don't know how to do that. I just say all protocol observe. And I know how to book and do it? Yes. All right, very good.
You went for the mayor, man.
No, but you know, they don't do that. American politicians don't do that. You know, that's the other thing.
You're not a politician. You went for the mayor of the biggest city in America.
No, I'm here now in my own capacity of big brother. Don't be shit on that one. So, put it on the record. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to really thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. I want to thank the leadership of FELMAUSA for giving us this opportunity. I just want to provide a little bit of history of the Sheikh of Kone. He went to the war. I think it was in 2015 when my father passed away. We got a communication from the leadership of FELMAUSA that they wanted to co-name the award in honor of Sheikh of Kone. And when we got the communication from the leadership of FELMAUSA, I consulted my Kone family because I felt that this was not my responsibility to preserve the legacy of my father. Yes, he's my father, but it was not my responsibility. It was the entire Kone and the entire Laperomelingo responsibility to do that. So I had to consult the Kone family and say, hey, this is the honor that the FELMAUSA leadership has bestowed on us. What do you want? And overwhelmingly, my family accepted that. Vasiki is here, Farouk is here. They were all part of that consultation. They say, hey, go ahead. And then, to make it even weird, they asked me to chair the committee. I mean, I really didn't want to do it, but you know, Manungo say if you must see if I check or your So I think it was based on that rhetoric and that metaphor that the leadership said, my man, you got a ticket. If you don't want a ticket, you want your own. So I had no choice but to accept it, right? I accepted it with all my heart, and I've worked really, really hard to preserve this. So what I did was created something innovative, because when my father passed away, the president spoke at his funeral, and she said something that resonated with everyone. She said, a giant tree has passed away. Has fallen, actually, that was the actual term. She said, a giant tree has fallen. So I took that phrase and co-named the award. Instead of Sheikh of Makona Humanitarian, I'll call it the Giant Tree Award, right? So, and Morris Krumah actually was a part of the committee that we first constituted then in 2015. He and I think Morris is in the hall. I told Morris, listen, we gotta find something symbolic of a giant tree. So I was on the internet 24/7 looking for a giant tree, seriously. Like I was just literally searching for a giant tree because I wanted to be symbolic. So the first time we gave the Giant Tree Award was I think it was in 2016 or 2015. And I think Ali Sila became our recipient. But this is an award that had existed before because it was a FELMAUSA award. This is not our property. We were just told to manage it, right? So we just co-name it now Giant Tree. And you know, I really wanted to say here that the leadership, and I want this to resonate with whoever is going to be the next president of this organization, to know that this is not our property. This is not the Kone people property. This is your award. You can take it from us tomorrow and give it to someone else if you want. So let it be your property. Invest in it. Invest in this award. Don't just take it and throw it on us and say, you know what, and make it like you're doing us a favor. That's how I felt, because it's been very challenging really getting the FELMAUSA leadership involved in this process. And that's my frustration, and I want to use this opportunity. I'm not throwing anyone on the bus, but I want people to understand that if he did us the honor to do this, work with us and make it your property. But all along, it has just been me, like literally, like I just feel burdened now. And to be honest with you, I have a lot going on, but hey, I just feel like if you don't do this, you're a failure. Come on, the people did you a favor, and that psychologically is really playing on me. It's really, really playing on me. So I really want to use this opportunity to appeal to whoever becomes the president of this organization moving forward. Understand that we are just holding this for you. We are doing you a favor, not us. If that is the mentality that will resonate with people, please listen to that. I don't want you to think that you're doing it a favor. So I don't want to go into more details on that, but I just wanted to reflect that because I know it's been very challenging for me getting this award here tonight. Now, so we succeeded in getting the giant tree, and the concept was, you know, get this giant tree and give people an opportunity to contribute towards the effort. Now remember, when the Sheikh passed away, everyone told us, you got to preserve the Sheikh legacy. I mean, when I went down to Africa, when he passed away to bury him, I was told that the United Nations made a proposal to support a foundation in his honor. I wasn't there. The people who were there that had a meeting with the United Nations Under Secretary General, I said, okay, right? You know, since you guys were here that did this, I think you guys should own this. This is not me. You work with my dad. I've been in this country for a little while now, what, 16, 17 years? But you guys was on ground. So I think you guys should own this. You'll determine how you want this foundation to be, and you'll let us know as the family, and we will support it. They said, fine. We met. I came back to America. Nothing happened. We went down for the 4 months, 10 days, met the same group. What's going on here? They said, oh, everyone started complaining. We set up a new crew of folks to work on it. The folks, the same thing, came back to America. After another 4 or 5 months, contacted them. Nothing happened. So I realized, here we go again. Here we go again. You all met with the United Nations. I didn't even meet you. I could have gone ahead and met with the United Nations person. But I didn't meet with them. I went ahead, I met with the President of the Republic. I met Brother Amara Conner then, who did an incredible job representing the family back home. But I didn't meet with the United Nations folks because I trusted the folks who said they met with the United Nations folks and they were determined to preserve the legacy. And the United Nations said, we'll get the money. That's what they told me. I didn't even meet the United Nations folks. But then it came back, nobody put a pen on the paper. So you know what, I said again, well, there you go. It's your responsibility. And everyone talked, it was no more secret. Everyone knew about it. Oh, United Nations said we're gonna do this. So it became a responsibility, another burden added on it. So I have to hire people, drafted the terms of reference of that foundation. And alhamdulillah, on October 2016, we finally launched the Sheikh Afuma Kone Foundation for Peace in Liberia. Again, all entirely by the family. So the award tonight has leaves on the trees that we have people who have been generous to us, who have sponsored this award to make it happen. Because this award pays for itself. Even though there's a FELMAUSA property, but it pays for itself. And the fund that we raise from that goes to the foundation. I think some of you saw lately when we did one of our massive campaign around the last 10 days of the Ramadan. My younger sister, who was here working with the New York State Department of Health, quit her job and went to Liberia to run the foundation as the executive director for the foundation. She's on the ground now. She's doing all the work and getting her hand dirty, you know, which is great work. So she's doing her part on the ground, and literally we're trying to help, not just preserving Sheikh legacy anymore, we're really trying to contribute our quota to the development of that country. I mean, we're talking about providing scholarship, right? We're talking about participating in the reconciliation process, talking peace, the land dispute. We want to do our part while we live our lives here. So we're contributing to whatever is going on there. So she's on the ground, she's doing whatever she's doing. So as we present, because some of you didn't see the award last year when we presented it, so I wanted people to just know a little bit of history of the award, and if I continue to be chair of this committee, we will be reaching out to all of you every year to contribute to this effort. And once you know why you are contributing to this, you're not just paying for an award, right? You're paying to sustain a foundation that we build to help Liberia. We build to continue and preserve the legacy of Sheikh Afuma Kone. I mean, when I went to Liberia, I know how people really celebrated my father. And I went on national radio to really say thank you to people. I mean, I've never seen anything like it, right? I didn't even know he was like that. I mean, I just thought he was a father, that's it. I mean, I felt he was just a dad. But it turns out he was an inspiration to other people. And really, truly, we are blessed to be his children, right? My sibling is in this room, and he knows that because we've gotten a lot of compliments with people. The standard has been too hard for us, but we don't want to raise anyone's expectations. You know, we're going to live our own life. We're going to try, but I don't want to be like Sheikh Afuma Kone. all right? I'm gonna be myself. I'll try my best. So I don't want to disappoint anyone. But if you want to see his legacy live, support this foundation. Support it. At least we'll put together an institution now that is separated from us. We have our own lives, we have our family, but his foundation will preserve his legacy, and his legacy will live on. So tonight, we are going to present the award to our 2019 Giant Tree Honoree, and this is a person who doesn't need any introduction, but you know, normally you gotta put in a little bit of words out there. But before I even call the honoree, I want to recognize our generous sponsors tonight. And after I call the honoree on the stage, I want my sponsors to come on stage because they made it happen, right? I want them to come on stage to help us present this award to the honoree. Our chief patron for tonight, for the award, is no one else, but it's a family. Brother Amara Cornell, my own friend and brother. I'm just looking for people to intern at the Mayor's Office of International Affairs. AHEL Liberia, that is run by Mr. Randolph Jabate. Himself is one of our sponsors to the award. Maina Kamara is one of our sponsors. Masira Kamara, these are two friends outside of our community. These are friends outside of my own cousin. The Honorable Joseph Saka is in the house. He's one of our sponsors. One of our sponsors too. Our sponsors. Peter Sawe is aka Eunice, one of our sponsors. Musa Sharif, my own brother from Amsterdam, is one of our sponsors. Our dynamic MC here, Amara Kamara, he has been our sponsor twice now in a row. This is what I'm talking about. Tuma Foundation, of course, is one of our dynamic sponsors. She's doing a great job. So I want to say to all of our sponsors in the house, I want to say thank you very much for making this happen. Without you, this wouldn't have happened. Now let's go to the honoree. Our honoree is a former teacher and a varsity soccer coach at Hunter College High School. And he has coached the school since 1993. He was a guiding force, or he is a guiding force behind the school AHEL project, which takes American students and scientists to Liberia to train their science teacher and encourage their students to excel in science and math. I have also supported several Liberian schools with laboratory equipment and curricular activities. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me and give a resounding applause to our honoree of the 20 Azmana Jabate. So, Brother Amara, please come up. Mr. President, please come up. Sorry, all of our sponsors that I just listed, please come up on this stage and help me present this award to our honoree, Mr. Randolph Javade. I'll pass it on to the people.
Can you come in front? No, I think you gotta come in front.
Yeah, sure.
Joseph, come join me now. I think you have it, man.
All the sponsors, please.
Come here, you know.
Chief is very deserving. Very deserving. Humble man.
Please give it up for Mr. Randolph Jabate.
The award, we have accepted this beautiful award. It has been accepted by the I Have Liberia project. I'm wondering out here, I'm seriously wondering, In this community, I have been honored 3 times now. And the wonder is, somebody who just declared that he doesn't support Maningo unity is being honored by FELMAUSA that seek for Maningo unity. That is really surprising. But maybe there could be a reason. But I want to say thank you to my beautiful wife. And my wife, those of you that don't know, she has always been there for Limani. She even served in the capacity as secretary for Limani. And she knows where we came from. We love Liberia, and we can't love Liberia without the Mandingo community. I want to also say thanks to all of my supporters out there. I want to say thanks to Fatu, who every year she is performing for the I Help Liberia project. I want to say thank you to my nephew, Sam Mohammed Kroma. I want to say thank you to all the students in New York City that continue to support the I Help Liberia project. Out of the 3 awards, it seemed as though this award was really timely and meaningful, and you don't even know it. You don't really know how meaningful and timely it was. Last year, I made a speech, or I appeared on a talk show or a forum in Philadelphia. Please listen to this carefully. And this is a moment for you, because I've been in this country since 1975. Think about that for a minute. On that forum, I said that my next stage of talking to people was to talk about cow poo-poo. I want for you to think about it. I wanted to talk about cow poo-poo. It is of interest to me. And also, I do believe that cow poo-poo can drive evil spirits. And I do believe that if I were to take medicine or anything, I do believe that the cure for me is nasi. You know, those of you that live in those days, our parents then used to go to the money man. The money man would write something on a tablet and then put the water into a cup, wash it, and that was nasi. And I do believe that nasi helped me up to be who I am. Wow. But the strange thing was, driving my Uber one day, a young man met me in Manhattan. He said to me, "Mr. Jabate," and I was shocked. He knew my name, and he said to me, "I want to say something to you." He said, "I am your grandson. I am a Jabate. I have gone and I have gotten my master in political science. I'm on my way to getting my PhD in political science. And I hate you." I want for you to think about this. you know, Mr. Jawata does not back down from that kind of conversation. So I said, oh, for what? He said, you representing the Jawata family and the Madingo people, and on air, you say you believe in cow poo-poo, and instead of you going to Liberia and be a minister and be a doctor and all of that, instead you are saying you believe in cow poo-poo. It is strange that you are a disgrace to the Manigo people and to the Jawata family. Then I said, I tell you what, that poo-poo is the birth of a new Liberia. That poo-poo that we're talking about, excuse me folks, and you know the street today, I don't know the man, but he's probably listening now. And I said to him, I said, do you know that poo-poo would have killed Ebola right on the spot? And I strongly believe it. That poo-poo is, you see, I tell you something. As those that teach education, if you repeat something like this, it will stick. And sorry, I'm trying for this thing to stick. You are not. So, and I told him that the only way we would discuss this is for us to meet in the Devil Bush. It's for us to meet in the Devil Bush where your great-grandparents took part in, where your great-grandparents were the leader. And the young man said to me that day, don't call me your grandson anymore, because it looks like you are not normal. And I said to him, you know what? That is not new. You are not the first Manigo man or the first Jawata to say I am abnormal. I said, in fact, I said my dad called me abnormal. And you know what? He followed it up with saying, abnormalcy is not a bad thing. We all are not the same. So, but when the young man turned away, calling me grandpa, I'm going, and when I get my PhD in political science, you are the people I don't want to see. Because you don't mean well for our community. I was crying with tears in pains for a very long time, even up to this moment. I was crying with pains. But guess what? Your award has wet that tears. That means your award has released the pain. And I do agree that I'm abnormal. Even this weekend, I did something abnormal. Very, very abnormal. And at the end of the day, I am very, very happy for what I saw. A young man came to me a few weeks ago. You see, when they gave you an award, they don't give it to you for free. Use the opportunity to teach. Use the opportunity to leave an everlasting message. Because that award is not free. They trusted you and they want for you to tell the people why you deserve that award. You know, Mr. Kaba, hope you enjoy yourself. It was nice. You have been a blessing in my life for these 5. I tell you, told me that he wanted to come to this convention to sell the idea of an Islamic university. And I agree. But we're going to do it my way. My way. And it's going to be done the abnormal way. So, was supposed to pick him up, and I have already calculated in my head. I said, if this guy is really serious about submitting this, and he is serious about this university, he will go to the extreme to be here today. I was supposed to drive him here. I kept him at his house, and I never picked him up. I passed by him, and I came. Well, he's here. He's here. And he was not like, we kept talking to each other, and he was literally crying. He has to be here. And you did a very of the university now today, it is all because that man came to me and said that Mr. Javate, you have been recommended for us to jumpstart the movement right now that has been alive for years, and it is time for us to do something about it. So whatever you can do now, let's get to work. And surely we got to work. We work. We work. And you know what? I'm 64 years old. My bike cannot hold any longer. But we pack things, pack loads of materials, science books, science materials. We pack those loads. And I actually thought that was one of those Maningo boys that just like to lie. He probably want to go over there. So I have all the rights to test that young man to see if he really mean business. And this is no joke. These abnormal thing is really unusual. Famo Konen, who has been my enemy on the FELMAUSA issue, I told him I wanted to have dinner with him or lunch with him. And you know what happened? And us sitting down to eat, we walk maybe by 10 or 20 blocks just having conversation. And sitting down here, and this is an abnormal person. and right now, Famo will not. Famo always call on me, and we always have these discussions. And most recently, there is one leader of one chapter in this hall here today. I told him I wanted to talk to him. And it was 3 of them. It was raining. It was raining. And the temperature was maybe -4 in New York City, raining. Guess what? They asked me for us to go sit down in a hall, in a house, in an apartment. I told them we're going to have this discussion right here on the main street of New York. Mr. Fofana, come here, please. Come here. Come. Hold up. There he is. No. I said Usman Toure. There he is. I'm telling them about our 2 hours discussion in the rain, very cold. You want to be a leader of this community that I cherish so much. You got to be tested. You got to be tested. He and his vice president, and he thought I was crazy. He was texting all his other buddies to tell them that we're here with Christian, Mr. Randolph. Oh, it was near the mosque. It was near the mosque. And he did not know that I was texting him to see if he is well tested to be my leader. And when I'm dying, who am I going to look up to? Is it going to be some guy who just going to just walk away? I have invested in this community for a long period of time. And I think those of you that selected me, you did not make a mistake. You did not make a mistake. I want to say thank you to Ayuswa. Ayuswa, I learned a lot from you. I learned how stupid young folks can be. I learned how aggressive young folks can be. And I learned how innovative they can be. There was a lot of innovative stuff they did, and I'm sitting down there. And you know what? There's no Manigo man here that travel with you guys like I did. You're here. If they're talking about soccer today, we started it there. And if they say that I created humanity, and I said, no, we got to let the kids have their way. The first set of soccer ball to Olima was 24 soccer ball was given by us to you. The FELMAUSA that you're looking at today, even though I declare that day, on the day that you guys are struggling, that hell no, I don't support Maningo unity. For 72 hours of that day, of that formation, when we were at the crossroad, when people were trying to take us, the Maningo community, to court in Philadelphia, I stood there and I said, we're going to fight this, and this FELMAUSA Foundation organization going to be formed. Director Sherry is in the hall, you are here. They saw what we did, and I said, I am your advisor, and you have to listen to me right now. Every minute of the day, you have to listen to what Mr. Jabate is going to say to you. And you know what? I'm blessed. And thank you guys for listening to me. That's why we have FELMAUSA today. And oh no, you're not going to stop me now. You're not going to stop me now. I said thank you. Let me tell you, that issue came about when Elijah Kroma was supposed to be the guest speaker. Yes, and then we formulate among ourselves. All the other people talking about FELMAUSA. And even after I have gone on videotape, on record, that I dislike Maningo Unity, I put the heads together and I told Tarata Cherry, you don't open your mouth. You just focus. Tarata, are you in the hall?
Yeah, he's right back there.
Okay. I said, you just focus on the social aspect of FELMAUSA this day. Because That is that social aspect that's gonna win the day. The other talk gonna just be talk. So, FELMAUSA is here today. I'm very proud that you guys are still standing. I'm not a member of you, but you are still standing, which I am proud of because my children listen to me. And I told them, no matter what, don't let it go. And now I cry. And this young man who told me that I am a disgrace, he doesn't know where we've been. Here is the minister sitting down here. How many times I had meetings in their houses? Where we did it? And we did not organize. How many times we did not organize to protest against even child stealing, anybody that was for that matter? And what are you talking about? So you were not wrong for giving me that award. Giving me your award. And if you're gonna be a leader in this community, you gotta work hard. You gotta seriously work hard. And I dare you to do even equal to what I did. Try it. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. Look, it's a battle we fought. It's a battle we fought in this place. Mohammed Keita, thank you for it. When he got in this country, we decided he was a nice man and we were going to incorporate him into the whole activity. Yeah. When we were trying to, no one could deny us. And that's why when you guys trying to figure what monument doing to you, pediment doing to you, basement doing to you, we were not pushed around. And why should you be pushed around? You ask yourself, why is Mr. Jabate always in the objective, the negative aspect of things? He is always protesting. I protested my Helen. I even told her, even before she could become president, I protested her. If we cannot protest in the beginning, you cannot protest in the end. If everybody agree that she is good, then she is always going to think that we don't know anything. We protest her. We have made several trips to Liberia. And I just want to say thank you to my students. And we continue to do this thing. FELMAUSA, it's time for you to move from social, dancing, soccer, to some good stuff. And there are a lot of good stuff there for you. A lot of good stuff. Before we could get elected, during the course of the war, there were three groups of people. Child Stealer group, the Crown group, and the Free group. But we won the election. The Mandingo men won the election that year. When I was actually sick and bleeding with cancer on my leg, we went there, and if you see everybody saying today that Sam Mohammed loved that man, it is because I believe in the fight. And if you're going to fight for your land, go and fight. But you got to believe in the fight. You got to believe in the fight. So there is one man that taught me a lesson here today that I want to share with you. His name is Dukle. Dukle, where are you? No, not at Duclair. There was a Duclair I met. Oh, and he is from Minnesota. Oh, Duclair. You know what Duclair told me? Duclair told me that he doesn't know me. And his objective for the day is for each of you to know somebody that you never met. Was what Duclair told me today. And I was able to know Duclair. I was able to know that he ran away from Philadelphia to go to Minnesota and work on his PhD. And thank you for honoring me.
So everything that was planned today, we can't do it anymore because the program, you know, when you try, that's the worst part of being an MC. Because
with you, like Brother Kone, I'm a civil servant and not a politician, so all protocol observed. Thank you so much for having me. Let me invite the MC to come back up and come on, Mr. MC, we'll get through this. There are quite a few certificates, and these really indicate that the community has been hard at work. So if you're here, we're going to call your name, and we encourage you to just come on up real quickly, hurry on up and come and receive your certificate, and then we'll move ahead. So Mr. MC just call the names first.
All right, he had asked me as an MC to call the people name. The first certificate from the state of Georgia is, FELMAUSA certification appreciation too. Okay. Jeez, how can I present the certificate to myself? Yeah. Oh, Amara Kamara.
There you go, congratulations.
Thank you. All right, Alpha Jabate. Yeah. Aji Moriki Kenneth. Abu Fofana, Milwaukee Pape. Oh, I'm sorry. Abu Fofana.
Yeah, Abu from Milwaukee Pape.
Yeah, Milwaukee Pape. Abu Fofana, Milwaukee Pape. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, Sony Aliu Kamara.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate your hard work.
Musa Willie. Musa Talawali. Musa Talawali. Musa Fofana.
That's KK.
KK. Kalfala Kurma. KK.
No, KK.
Yeah.
Come on, guys.
Kasimu M. Sila. Kalifala Donzo. Brother Joseph Sako. Ibrahim Sangari.
Hey, what Dallas? Dallas people.
Fatuma Fofana. Tuma. Asata Kamara. Asata Kamara. No, that's it. Yeah. Ambassador Siaka Noah. Usman Dore. Sam D. Donzo.
North Carolina people. Sam D. Okay.
Sidiki Kamara. Vasiki Kroma.
Dallas.
Vakisi Kroma. Usman Bamba.
Obi.
Usman Bamba.
Thank you.
Usman Bamba.
Usman Bamba.
Obi, that's me. Usman Toure.
New York.
Musa Kroma. Mustafa Kroma.
Mustafa,
Mohammed Anzar Dole.
Oh, sorry.
Lai Toure. Gafuma S. Kroma.
Gafuma.
Oh, okay. All your hard work. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Janga M. Kenneth. Janga Kenneth. Ibrahim Kroma.
Ibrahim.
Hussein Sano. Frank Sano.
Let me get him a friend and Janga.
Okay, Janga too, yes.
Alhaji Musa Kone. Alhaji Musa Kone.
He's coming.
Abu Fofana is that twice? Who's Abu Fofana again? Abu Doyen. Abu Fofana, Abu Doyen. That's him. Oh, sorry. Joe. Farouk Ahmed Kone.
I get it.
Farouk Ahmed Kone. Farouk.
I get it for him.
Dr. Tabitha Vicky Briggs. Dr. Tabitha Vicky Briggs. Bill Clinton S. Kamara. The BNA going Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton's Kamara. Vocabulary Manju Toure. Vocabulary Manju Toure. Morris M. Kumar. Morris M. Where's that? She's right here.
Thank you, ma'am.
Mamadi Bengali President. Mamadi Bengali Sisi. Yeah. King Mohammed Kamara. King Mohammed. Yeah, Tom.
I'm here for you, okay? There you can see London.
Kasumu Sila. Isa Fofana. Isa Fofana, New York. Isa, you can play soccer, you gotta run, no? Fatimata Sharif Belity. Fatimata Sharif Belity.
Congratulations.
Magali TM Kone. Magali TM Kone. From Houston. Dashigi. Sheikh Mohammed Dukle. Short presentation.
Okay, not to prolong, State of Georgia, that was the certificate of from the Federation of Liberia, the United States, the FELMAUSA. I think it was a topographic mistake here. I think this other certificate is supposed to be for Aisha Kroma. Yeah, so they print somebody on twice. I think that was a mistake. So sorry about that. Aisha, please, would you hold your certificate and make the change to make sure that this reflects your name. You know, just want to run this thing. You do recognize some people. For publicity, we chose Leo Cisse. Leo Cisse.
Oh, Leo Cisse is coming down.
Leo, the state of Georgia, do recognize all your efforts. Yes, thank you. That's Musa Toure from Georgia. I think it's not So we will keep the rest. I will pass it on because of the time factor. These are local people from here. Sana Kamara, our board.
Speaker, my uncle, thank you very much for the great speech. You know, when the little girl spoke here today, it touched my heart. And I want to say, everybody have talked about peace, but I think we already have peace. Because we already have peace in this community. Because a few years ago, those of our friends and brothers and former presidents that did not show up for the convention, they are all here today. That is a clear manifestation on their part that they are ready for peace, and we are all ready for peace. So if to have peace in this community, if it meant for me to resign as board chairman, we will have the peace. If to have peace in this community, if it meant for us to step aside so we can be united and move this community forward, we will do that. But let's respect our Constitution, let's respect our leader, let's follow procedure, let's follow protocol. You cannot just push something on us because we want peace. Why I'm all for peace. I'm ready for us to have this peace, but let's follow the procedure. Our Constitution has to be respected. Our Constitution has to be protected. This is the organic law of our federation, and we should abide by that. So I just want to say this very clearly. We all want peace, and we already have the peace. Thank you very much.
And then we're going to have, please stand up as we welcome on the stage the President of Federation, President Mamadi Bangali Sise. Thank you for the State of the Union. Really? You want me to speak Japanese again? The President coming, that's all you can do? Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. I think I spoke yesterday, and at the traditional hour, and many of what I wanted to talk about was presented yesterday. Again, if you listen to everybody who came up here to speak, today, I think they all spoke about one thing, that we have to be united. They all spoke about peace. And I think that what we all should be driving towards. There's a lot that we have achieved under this leadership. But with all that, I don't think we are talking about that today. What we are talking about is how we can come together. And that's the reason why I appreciate the fact that my brother Sekou Kane is here today. We have everybody in the hall today. But I don't think we all again want to leave and go back home. Like I said yesterday, if election was the one that was resolving our issues, we would not be here today. We have all come to realize that you can elect whoever you want to. But if you don't have the support of the community behind our pressure, we were going to be back here 2 years after. In 11 years, this is going to be the 12 years of our existence. Do we want to do this every other year? Do we want to go in a circle? I think we have all realized that the strength we have and the capacity we have to help our community is not going to be achieved, definitely, if we are not together. And that's the reason why I continuously say that the brothers and sisters that came together to see how best they can bring peace into our community, let's give them the opportunity to do that. Just give them the opportunity to do that. So, Mr. MC, I want us to move on to the next stage, like we said, very briefly, and then you can come up and call them up. or they will come and do or whatever presentation they have to do to the community and see how we move forward. And after that, we all can go on the football field to do merry-make and support our teams. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. All right, so right now, as the president said, we will call on head by Musa Wale to come up here very quick. Please come, gentlemen. This is no time that you drag your feet. You gotta take giant steps.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In the name of Allah, the most merciful, the most gracious. We greet you in the name of Allah, and we want to say thank you to President Mamadi Cisse for recognizing us to make this brief presentation. I know time has been fast spent, so I'm not going to read the entire documents. I'm just going to read the recommendations. Special thank you go to the brothers that we did not expect to be here today. After 2 months of talking to them, the premise was that it was going to fly to be here today. So part of the reason why we are proud and smiling on the stage is because we were able to get the other side that people thought I was not going to be here today. So we must be able to give them credit for being here. Thank you. One of them flew from Liberia yesterday. He came purposely, he asked me, should I go there? Would there be peace? Do you promise me? I said, yes, buy your ticket and come. And they are here today. Thank you very much, man. I'll reward you. Now, we started a process about a year ago, almost a year ago, and that process was geared towards bringing peace in FELMAUSA. Even though a lot of us say there's no peace, but anything that's abnormal, I'm not a normal person anyway. Once things are abnormal in the community, meaning things are not straight. So we got to help them make it straight. We can all pretend that the community is united because we go to programs and we shake hands, we dance, we do fake smiles, and we leave. But there's a root cause to our disunity. Disunity is not because you Kamara and Akuma, I don't want to talk to you. Disunity in the organization is because of structural failure and the lack of organizational cohesion. So, we as brothers and sisters decided that we'll do this voluntarily, we'll put ourselves together, we'll organize a peace commission, we'll start to work, and then later on, the community said, well, oh, you guys are not recognized, and we'll talk to the president, and the president will recognize us. And the president recognized us, but then the community said, oh, the president did not follow the procedure. Then we beg the community, we say, you know what? Peace is bigger than procedure. Am I lying? Peace is better than procedure. Procedure is just administrative, maybe lapses. But there are major violations that you can do that doing administrative lapses will not be too important. So we just want to make that clear today. After 3 weeks of working, this is what we came up with. We are proposing a 7-member peace transitional team, technical transitional team. And that technical transitional team will be comprised of prominent individuals within the community, within the Mandingo community that will not be former FELMAUSA presidents, current board members, current officials of FELMAUSA. The next thing we are proposing is that that team will seek to have an inclusive representation, demographic representation, youthful representation, religious representation, etc. That technical transitional team will be nominated by the Peace Commission and approved by the General Assembly. We are saying today, we don't want you to have election. We are proposing a technical transitional team. Now, and let me make this clear today to the body. Everything we're doing here today is proposal. We don't have power to enforce anything. We cannot impose anything on you. So later on tomorrow, you can choose to say, you know what? Everything you said yesterday, we don't want it. We got the power. You was only working, right? So we got the obligation to tell you what we want to propose, since we were empowered by the Honorable President to do that. We also this committee will be responsible to convene and work toward reform of the organization. Role of this committee will be to reform the organization. The organization will have a structure of the FELMAUSA and decided upon by the delegate. So we are not going to say who will be the president for that technical team. We are not going to say who will be the vice president. It is the FELMAUSA delegates, the General Assembly tomorrow can decide, you know what, you gave us 7 names and we will choose who will be the acting president, who will be the acting vice president. Again, proposal. Keyword proposal. Enough folks to take it. Sorry. The technical team will help to facilitate the process of reform. Now let's talk about reform. Constitution. Strategic direction. Meaning where we want to go, jumping, we're not just going to be jumping all around the place. What do we really want? This team will develop a proposal and a concept to know where we want to go as an organization. Membership structure. Wallahi, somebody just walked to somebody and said, you want to be dedicated for this place? I almost cried. Somebody just asked somebody in the group, you want to be dedicated for my place? They got a dedicated, they're looking for dedicated to come vote for tomorrow. But we got more than, how many people here? We got more than 50 people here that are not dedicated, but they committed to FELMAUSA. While people walking around the building looking for dedicated strategically to get them there to vote. That is an issue. Again, proposal. Capacity and operational system. That's another thing they will look at. Sustainable resource mobilization. Resource mobilization and sustainability. Anytime the president is leaving chair, they say money missing. Sometimes the president can't even steal it, but because there's no system in place, we say the president steal it. Sometimes the president will steal it because there's no system in place, we now know. A clearly defined Mandingo agenda. The Mandingo agenda has been going for how many years now? I think so many years. So this group will work with whoever doing it to come up with a clearly defined Mandingo agenda. This group will not fall from the sky. The group will be among the Mandingo people, and the group will solicit their expert views from Mandingo who are within the community. If it is finance, we'll go take Brother Suri post that he wrote yesterday. We'll take all the views from Honoree, we'll analyze it, we'll come up with suggestions. Now, the last one, full participation in the convention. All of the things that I'm saying here today did not fall from the sky. We met with every stakeholder in this process. We met with President Mamadi Cissé, we met with the board. The board met with all 3 times. And most of the suggestions here were suggestions that we discussed. We met with the Murray team. We met with Hawa team. So the document that we created, it was created based upon consultation. So the first thing, 6th chapter, what do we propose for this 6th chapter thing? Which include our brothers, some of our brothers that are here today, including Musa Fofana, Ibrahim Belete, and the rest of others. Biju from New Jersey. 6 chapters. The 6th chapter should be welcome to participate in full in all of the organization's activities, including being reinstated on the board of directors. The 6th chapter, ladies and gentlemen, I want to tell you today that the 6th chapter have agreed. If we are to sign or bargain, the 6th chapter have agreed today with immediate effect to turn over all your property. One of our preconditions for bringing them in is to turn over all the organization's property that was in their possessions. There's a duplication of FELMAUSA website. But people think, let me put the mic down because I'm getting overwhelmed. You can hear me, you can hear me. I'm getting overwhelmed, so I gotta use my 2 hands. You can hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, I'm getting overwhelmed, so. All right, so I like to use my 2 hands. I'll be very effective when I'm talking. So, The tradition says the woman can do it. I don't know what that is. All right. Voice of Liberia doing free job here today. All right, so now, chapter states recommendation. We agree that the 6 chapter states should be reinstated. One of the preconditions for their reinstatement would be they should turn over all the organization property, including the website, the Facebook page. Why we want the website to be turned down, or why we want the website to be deactivated, or whatever you call it. There are 2 websites running for FELMAUSA. It is causing the organization serious donor fatigue. Donors don't like that. It is causing the organization serious damage, but for some of us think that it's okay. Our committee don't see it okay like that. So we're recommending that they should turn over that website or take it down as a precondition to bringing them back to participate in all the organization activity. I'm pleased to inform you that they are committed to that, and they are willing tomorrow morning to do that with me if the delegates give them green light that yes, this is going to work. The next thing is the participation of the 6 states in building more unified, included stable FELMAUSA. The 6 chapters are paramount to FELMAUSA. Now somebody will ask me why. The president, let's assume the president disrespected the board, and the board suspend him and his chapter. How many Madino people live in a chapter? How many Madino people live in a chapter? Thousands. So the president inaction or action has caused 1,000 Madino people to be stranded from participating within the organization's activity because the president action, right? One president has been suspended, therefore his chapter has been suspended, therefore 10,000 Madinos within our community will come here and serve as spectators. We think that's part of the reason why we need reform. Holistic participation should not be undermined by some chapter leaders. So on top of our recommendations, we are asking you tomorrow, as I close, the board is in your code, delegates. Even the delegates are people looking for in the hall here. Yeah. Even the delegates that people are looking for, tomorrow the board is in your code. You can decide. The only thing I'm asking you for is, don't leave Atlanta with all peace. Yeah. If you leave Atlanta with pretense, Allah will judge you tomorrow. Do not leave Atlanta with pretense. And the way you can leave Atlanta with pretense is to say, not holding a day's first, let Mr. X win, they will talk about it. That's pretense. That thing not gonna work. What we want you to do is decide on the most important part of this. The first thing we're asking you for, vote tomorrow for transitional team. The second thing we're asking you for is bring your brothers and sisters back. Don't even go for them. They're already here. They're telling you, I won't come back. I won't come back. I beg you, won't come back. They are here. They bought their plane ticket. Put them back. Do that tomorrow. And the last but not the least, all of these decisions, all of these recommendations are just proposals, right? Recommendation, proposal. They are not binding on you. We got no power to force it tomorrow because some people are already saying, FELMAUSA ECOMO. We are not ECOMO. That was so funny this morning. Even though I tell everybody, I don't say that word to anybody else, but say it's funny me and I say, yeah, FELMAUSA ECOMO, you want to behave yourself tomorrow. But most of the people that have problem with what we're doing are our friends, and we're going to meet tomorrow. We got nothing to gain out of this. We want to go photocopy, I swap my credit card, but there's no budget for it. Oh, we did 15 copies. Then we printed everything, we stapled them. It's 3 per copy, right? So in 2 months, say, oh, I didn't bring my wallet. I said, no problem, I got it. I swapped my credit card. I said, well, no budget for another comedian, sir. That's my money. I'm not benefiting anything. Now, the conference call, 3 hours a night. From when you say, you're probably on a call, get finished. I ain't say, man, on a conference call, but get finished. So, conference call 3 hours every night. And anybody here wants to say a line, ask the people that used to come to us to talk. They are the witness. When they come talk, so now we stay there for 3 hours. One other night, we had to tell the other team, can you leave quick, so people come in, we don't want them to hear your secret. We don't want to hear any discussion, they left. So, I mean, in essence, I'm trying to be more simple in the process. I'm trying to simplify this whole process. In essence, we are asking you to please respect the sanity of this process, and then tomorrow, vote for transitional technical team, vote for the reinstatement of our brothers, vote for reform. So there are 3 things here. So if you don't want to vote for, but we're saying vote, we're not even going to say if you don't want to. Vote for all 3 tomorrow. That's my message.
Alright, thank you for giving me 1 minute. This is my questions to everyone here tonight. I mean, and ask me a question to how you understand it. We have contributed to this community a lot. My question to the leader tonight: why Kwaduguni have not been invited? This is the 2nd time. I personally have contributed. My life was being threatened in 2018. People who knows it, I will put on a goal point. I am the co-chair for Kwaduguni Association. I think it is not fair to all, or I want the administration to tell all whether we are not part of FELMAUSA. This is not the first time, neither the 2nd time. Kwaduguni has never been invited, but we always invite FELMAUSA. Why Kwaduguni cannot be invited? That's my question to everyone tonight. Yeah? Kwaduguni have not been invited. Matter of fact, yesterday, the president